she was my client, not only would I do this, okay, but I would also get right here.
Wow.
And I would reduce it.
I heard that.
Okay? Now this comes over here. I could see that, so. The way I see it, if I can see it, I can fix it. It's like any good mechanic, you know. If I can see it, I can fix it, right? So start here, and it's palm press. Now if I'm doing it for pressure, notice that I rock up and off every time I change position. So no pressure, pressure, change. No pressure, pressure, change. No pressure, pressure. And I slide from point to point. Now on the low side, okay, I don't lift at all. I rock and sink to create pressure, okay? And again, if I wanted to check this, take a breath and exhale. It's fine. Now, this comes over, and everyone so far, including you, Kaylee, you're not coming over far enough. So what you want is this cleft. Think of this like a sight over the top of the heel to point at the sacrum. Okay? So bring this over till this point's here. So we're not over here, and we're not, and if you grab it from the inside, you tend to go wide. In which case then, to work the outside lower line, you have to go around. Even lean over here to get over here, right? But whereas if I use my sight, see I'm pointing at the center line there, pointing at the coccyx, right? Tip of the coccyx. Now watch. And then I just lean straight in. See, there's no leaning over, there's no twisting, and then it's just dit, dit, dit. Now touching the toes. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I'm always touching the toes. But this makes all the difference in the world. And then, okay, got that so far. And then hook up under the big toe and just bring it up till the ankles cross, and then rotate the hand in and press. 1, and when you change, don't lose contact and don't drop the foot. Don't drop the foot. The foot doesn't come out of this hand until I make it. That way it's always under control. And then all I do is go from here to here and push. And so now it goes here, push, here, push, here, push, here, push, here, push. Get it? Now the foot comes up, bring the foot together, widen your knees a little bit. Hold this strongly, and now here's what you do. Ha! Okay? Don't lift. Snatch. Snatch. So, knees are out. So it's not, okay? Because she's light as a feather, right? Actually, I have feathers that are heavier than you. Just so you know. I have a turkey feather that weighs more than you do. So, but what you don't do is you don't lift like 1, 2, you're not positioning, right? What you would like, keep your legs relaxed as much as you can, okay? Listen. Did you hear her knees knock together? You want to hear that sound. Okay? Then you creep up, but not in a creepy way. More of a sneaky way. Alright? You creep up. See how my knees are now slightly past the ends of her knees? Now watch. Here's magic. Boom, boom. See? And I keep that pressure on her knees while I get into locking behind the toes. And then push down. Right? Now, so look where the heel of my hand is in the base of the toes. But I actually have something there to push on. right? And that's when I lever down the toes, okay? These are here, but not, you know, death grip, right? And then it's come up with the toes close to the body, push down and drive the heels to the bottom. This is Biktanasana. This is a variation on what's called the frog pose, right? So I'm not death grip here, but I'm controlling. If there's any wobble, see how I can steer? So now push over, and reinforce palm. And then look through your hands and come forward and down. 1, change, look through your hands, push forward. 2, change, look through your hands and push forward. You see? But there's pressure on these knees. Because what I'm doing as I'm doing this frog pose is I have to maintain the alignment of the knee and hip as I do it. That's what this is. So you would call this a lock. See? And so even though I'm focusing on my hands and I'm focusing on her feet, my knees are engaged. And also this idea of looking through the hands. Now look, if I look up here and I just go and push down, that's one thing. I don't need to do that. Reinforce palm, not like this. Her feet aren't going anywhere, okay? And then I just look through my hands, look where my arms are, and then just as I raise forward and then down. So that gives it an arc. It's not just push down, which would be a straight line. So I'm not really doing a straight line. I'm arcing into it, right? Which is progressively putting these lines under tension. Progressively putting these lines under tension, right? And then when I come out, right, Kaylee did that so nicely, actually, that transition, because you drop one, keep one. Drop one and keep one. Don't drop them both and then go looking for what you're going to lift. Okay? And then move up. Just to clarify. Oh no! That arm is in the way. What do I do? I guess I'll just have to work around it. Just above the elbow. See this? Done. So no juggle, no carry, it's flip. There it is, right? Efficiency in motion. My upper knee goes where I'm going to work. So I find the first point on the low back where I'm going to palm, and then that's where that knee has to go, right? It's okay to do this. Then we step up in a good lunge. So before I start, I'm not in a crouchy pose. I'm not in a long, sort of crouchy, collapsy lunge. I'm all the way up, straight line from knee, hip, and shoulder. And before I do anything, I do a little bit of this. This. That's for me. It's not for her. Right? I've been all crouched over, kneeling, you know, on my knees and on my feet and kind of bent over and kind of for a little while to get to this point, right? And so we have this idea that any place we can legally do a restorative posture for us, we do. We do. So this is actually good for me. Gets my back up, I even throw my shoulders back a little bit. I get my head up, but this pelvis forward. But then also, the way that I get the knee is by not leaning over, right? Because that's part of it. I don't want to lean over when I go to get the knee in the locus. Okay, so I have her ankle, right? I'm going to pretend like she's a humongous, big, heavy person. Because the body mechanics on this work the same for a humongous, big, heavy person. Okay, if you do it right, the mechanics are there. Just like in powerlifting or weightlifting, a deadlift is a deadlift is a deadlift is a deadlift. You do it the same whether you have 40 pounds, 45 pounds, that's just the bar, or you have 700 pounds. You do it the same. A deadlift is a deadlift is a deadlift. So, and what you're taught in a good gym is the body mechanics say just because you're lifting a lightweight, you use the same body mechanics that you're going to use if you're lifting twice your body weight. Same mechanics. And then what happens is you'll never not do it because that's your habit. Okay? So I go here and then it's around into the front of the leg. And then this hand goes here, and then what I want to do is get my pelvis forward and push with the front knee to lift. So if the knee's moving, she goes up and down. If the knee's not moving, there is no lift. It is not a lift with the back. We're only using the back and the glutes to tighten up and add stability. This lift is 100% thigh and is the leg pushing back. And again, the rule is when you do the locust, if the knee's not going back and forth with every motion, then that means you're doing it with your back. That's what that means.
So you want the knee to...
I want my knee to move because nothing will happen with her if my knee is not moving. But hey, you can get up. Let's get